Hi guys, so it's good to see you again. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about reading tarot and oracle cards, but I mean, there is not really a classic way to read oracle cards. There is a classic way to read tarot, but we'll touch on both of them. Now, if you know me or follow me, it's more than likely that you would probably follow Jax Atlantis as well. And he is one of my best friends. And recently, he started doing videos on how to learn to read tarot in the classical way. And they're wonderful. And I highly recommend that you check him out and you follow him and you learn from him because he is one of the most geniuses who have ever geniused ever. And he is just his plethora of knowledge is unmeasurable. And I love it. And it's funny because he started doing these videos while I was thinking about doing this video, and then I got tied up doing some things and got busy and didn't get it out. But so he's 100% right. And that is how you learn to read tarot. And you can check out his videos on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Name Jax Atlantis on all of them. And I highly recommend you do. Because there is no one else that I've ever seen be able to teach how to classically read tarot the way he does. I, however, although I have some basic knowledge of tarot and in the classical way and the minor arcana, the major arcana, what they mean and what they mean in every deck, and I do use it to an extent. You can also... Why is that dog barking? You know I don't have a dog and there's always a dog barking in my life. You can also learn to read tarot almost instantaneously. And I've found that, well, a combination of the two methods I feel works the absolute best. But I have found that if you build your own relationship with the cards and you do what I am about to teach you, your readings will be more accurate than if you were to just black and white in text read from the place of knowing exactly what each card means and doing a blink reading that way. So, for example, pardon me while I reach. Oh shit! I have this one new tarot deck. Is that going to be backwards? Probably. If I hide my face, will it focus? It's the Supernatural tarot deck, and Supernatural show. If you haven't watched it, you should. Cliche, but really saved my life. Love it. Legitimately saved my life. So anyway, shuffling through Amazon, happened to see it was there. Decided I wanted to buy it, right? So what I do when I get a deck, and what I would recommend if you want to learn how to read tarot almost instantaneously, this is what I recommend you do. The package comes in the mail. You open the package that the package comes in. You open the package. You take it out of the box. You look at the cards. You look through them, but you don't spend too much time. You just kind of introduce yourself. Take the book. Like, a lot there. Looks interesting. All right, cool. Put it back together. Set it next to your bed. Coffee, to put it on the coffee table. Put it on your altar. Whatever. Wherever. Somewhere that you frequent a lot, that your energy is a lot, leave it there. A couple days, overnight, till you feel that the energy of these cards is no longer outsider. They may have their own energy, but they're not outsider. You tell me how long that takes for you. Different decks to me take different times. I think I ordered this with another deck, Oracle deck at the same time. The Oracle deck, I think I used 1 or 2 days later. I think this one sat for 3 or 4 days. While it was acclimating, we were energetically getting to know each other. We do that. I can tell it's time. Maybe they jump off the table. Maybe you just look, oh shit, I forgot about you. Let me look at you. You'll know it's time. You'll either remember them out of nowhere, or they'll make themselves known, or you'll finally see them that you've walked by 3 times and hadn't noticed them before, but now you do. Okay. So now you have a connection. So now what I would do is go through and I would look, like, here's the Hierophant card. And the show is death, right? So I know what the Hierophant means. I'm not going to pay much attention to that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to know this is death from the show. And I know who Billy is. I know her character. I know she held a shit ton of wisdom. She was also very much about guiding, but also keeping the balance of good and bad and right and wrong. And I really, because I wouldn't recommend getting this deck, it'd kind of be silly if you didn't watch a show, right? We'll get on to a deck that's not about a show in a minute. I know what she means. I set the precedent that, and the funny thing is, I mean, this is an aptly created deck because it does play into the Hierophant, which is a counselor, somebody to aid you, carry you along your way, benefit you, life coach. Pope is, I believe, on the original Rider-Waite deck, it's a Pope. Okay, so it all fits. Billy fits into that. Death fits into that. It's not the death card. She plays death in the show. I probably should have chosen another deck. Now we're getting all over the place, right? It fits into it. But now my deck knows. This is my deck. And not every other supernatural deck will read this way. This is mine. That's why nobody else reads my cards. That's why you don't take somebody else's cards and read them. Your deck will read for you. So now my deck knows. We've now sat, and I'll have this chat with them if you weren't here. We now have a mutual understanding when this deck wants to get a message that what Billy would represent across to me, they're going to give this. You, to get the same message, if you were using this deck, may get of your own, may get a completely different card. That's perfectly normal. I have my relationship with my deck. It reads for me. Billy may mean something to me that she doesn't to you. Whether she means something else to you because you were a fan of the show and there was an episode that stuck out to you, or because you're reading it classically by the Hierophant card. Again, I think a mix of them work well together, and I've noticed that what you pick up from the cards will go hand in hand with their classical meaning. Let's see if I can find another one in here. So this is the King of Goblets, which would be the King of Cups. Why don't I hold that more of an awkward angle? And this is, am I going to remember his name? He was the first vampire. He was created by the mother of all. But anyway, so when I think of him, vampires always urge sexual energy, love energy. That's like goblets, that's like cups card. It's powerful, it's in charge, it's calculated risks, it's a king. It means exactly what it would mean to me classically, but I didn't need to know the classical meaning of King of Goblets or King of Cups to know what this card meant to me. We're back with is Heather babbling and making sense, or just babbling and not making sense? We have the Tower card, which is Amara, which was the darkness, where she came in to destroy, in the show, she came in to destroy what was known, to create change. That's exactly what the Tower card means. And again, this is a very aptly made deck. So let's go to one that maybe wasn't designed to be made exactly, picking characters from a show to fit what they mean. Okay, this is, my poor box is getting so beat up. This is a Cat's Eye Tarot. It's just like a classical tarot in names and whatnot, but it's done with cats. So for example, we have the Magician. The name itself is kind of self-explanatory, but we have a black cat, black knight, so when I'm developing a relationship with my cards, I look at the picture. What does it mean to me? This cat is black in the shadows, magic, making things happen, witches and black cats and that lore. We have a bird up here. Messengers to God, making things happen, messengers to the universe. The connection between 3D and higher dimensions, bridging the gap. We have a little lizard. We have a little fish. There's earth. There's air. There's darkness with the cat. It is everything about this represents the impossible is happening via magic. It is, and if you look at this, the little fish is almost like it looks like it's just a skeleton, but yet it's still swimming. There's a little mouse here, and it's funny that all these are things cats would go after, but yet they're not. Almost like magic. It really, if you did not know what the magician meant, I would pick out signs in here, and it would lead me to that. Let me see if I can find another one. What's a good one? Because I don't feel like I've gotten my point across. Okay, so for me, the Lover's card. Now, we all know, this is pretty general, right? We all know the typical way to read the Lover's card. I mean, the name explains it, right? But I want you to look really closely at this card. And you see these two supposed lovers, right? And then do you see this little sneaky fellow back here? When this Lover's card gets pulled for me, because that was one of the first things I noticed when I started looking through this deck, I will not get this card when the guides want to tell me and have me pull a card on a happy, fulfilled, joyful relationship. I will get this card when, and if you look close, you can see this male cat, he looks like he's protecting her from him, or is he maybe a little insecure that she might look back and notice him? There's definitely something afoot in this picture. A paw in this picture. So when this card pulls for me, because of what energy I get from it and I feel, it means yes, you are lovers, but it's more of a karmic connection or things that need to still be healed to be able to be true, what a typical lovers would be read at. Let me see if I can find in here a card that excuse me, that I would say means love and a loving relationship to me. What card? I'm just gonna cough. Okay, I do get the Six of Cups a lot, which is not necessarily atypical if you're going to read classic tarot. This is not like the best love message. But to me, look at this card. Look at these two little kittens just loving and playing and having a fun. I'll get this card versus the Lover's card a lot when we're talking about joyful, happy, harmonious relationships. Let's see what else we got in here. I guess I should have pulled these before, huh? Right? But I want to do it on the spot. I want to show you exactly what I do. Come on, let's see. Awkward moment of silence. Didn't really mean that to happen. Come on here, work with me. Work with me, kitty cats. Kitty cat meows. Okay, here's another. So this kind of, I believe, is the card that pops out for me most when they want to portray that actual what the Lover's card would mean, is because look at that little kitty. It's the Ten of Cups, so it is cups, which mean emotion. But oh my goodness, the little baby kitten, him just getting a belly rub. It looks like he was just rescued, and he's like, what is this? This is a new home with loves and cuddles, and I get love, and I'm safe, and I'm okay. This card I will read as what somebody who just reads classic tarot classically might get from the Lover's card. And the thing is, as long as I'm trusting what my guides are telling me in my relationship with the cards, and I'm delivering the message in the way that I'm getting it, it's going to be accurate. Because it doesn't matter if you get the Lover's card and I get this card. The message is the same. It's all in interpretation and how you receive your messages from your higher self, from your guides, from others. That's all that it is. The same can go into effect, like with mantra cards, right? Sorry, my chair's squeaky. So mantra cards, right? Let's find a mantra card here that we can talk about. This one says, I accept my uniqueness. Now, these, because there's so many of them, and there's not like this set answer as to what they mean. So I'll go based on how I feel. This could very well mean I'm a unique human and I accept it and I'm okay with it. I'm not going to be criticized for it. Now, if you're doing a reading about somebody's gifts or their clairs or how they activate that stuff, this could very well mean and be in reference to their gifts are very unique to them, and they shouldn't judge their lack of doing something one way and being able to do it really good another way based on how other people do it. It's all given the situation. I love the fact that there's a classic way to read cards, and it provides a good foundation, but it should be used as the foundation along with intuition and feeling and all of your clairs and all of your gifts. So let's see, what other, let's do like an oracle card. What do we got here? So this is an energy oracle. I'm just throwing cards everywhere. Okay, here is the perfect one, right? So this is the energy oracle. This is a man holding a coin, right? And this is supposed to be like this positive. If I read the book, it's supposed to be this positive message of, oh, this masculine energy is going to come into your life and help your finances and solve all your worries, right? I read this very differently, because when I saw this card, I mean, I don't think he's evil. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. But I see it. Look at that hole in the middle of the coin. That's your energy that's missing. You are this whole coin should be yours. And this whole coin should be yours. And you are sacrificing your energy. You're giving up your power to something that is more masculine. It doesn't mean that it's a man. It could be a man. It could be a relationship. It could be a family member. Something that is more masculine in energy than you. You are giving up your power by allowing them to hold your coin, which is hold your abundance, hold your future. I don't read this as, ooh, a masculine energy, a man's going to come in and save everything. I read this as, stop giving up your power. Remember who you are. Come back to yourself. Reel yourself in. You got this. Stop looking for answers outside of yourself. Stop seeking fulfillment. Stop thinking you need outside sources to make you strong. You are you. You have everything you need inside of you. You're just not realizing it because you're allowing somebody else to hold that power. Bring your power back to you. And it's because I looked through these cards. I built my own relationship with them and what they mean to me. And I went forward. Now, oracle cards are a little bit easier. This says rest and relaxation. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what that card signifies to me. I will say that I would add on a message to it. If you notice how this energy is flowing through him, I would say this has more of a, it's not just, oh, you've worked really hard, take a break. It's the answers you're looking for, the upgrades you want come during your downtime, when you're meditating or on the treadmill or driving, where you're at peace and you're at rest. So it does go a little bit beyond just what this says. But it's still like, and I flip through the book and I read it, and if I, like that man with the coin card, when I first got that, I'm like, I had to look at the book, because I'm like, what are we doing here? What's this about? I'm like, it can't mean what I just got that it meant. So I investigated it further. And that's what it meant. But I had a different reading. And now it was spot on when I pulled it, knowing that was my meaning for it, for a reading for a client of mine. Spot on. And her and I actually, she's been a long, years and years client of mine. And her and I actually, I would send her a picture while we were talking. I'm like, here's the card. She's like, why do I feel like that? Her word for word, she's like, why do I feel like that's supposed to be a good card, but I don't feel good from it? I'm like, funny. That's the same thing I got from it too. So it's wonderful. And I really do highly recommend Jackson. I think you should check it out if you want to learn tarot. But Oracle, tarot, mantra, build your relationship. Allow you guys to, you and your cards, to acclimate to each other's energy. Then just spend some time getting to know each other. Look at each picture. See what it means to you, like all tied up. You did that to yourself. There ain't nobody else around. How did you just get yourself all wrapped up in a shrubbery by yourself and you're lonesome? I know that butterfly didn't do it, because that butterfly is one of your guides watching you like, yo, we really doing this again? So when this all tied up comes for me, it's because we're being our own worst enemy. Not necessarily that some outside force has backed us into a corner. Go through, look at your cards, build your relationship with them. And if you want the most accurate readings, read them for how you connect to them, not what classical tarot says or what the book and oracle card says or anything like that. Yes, the classical tarot is really going to aid in a foundation of getting the maybe like the direction of where this is going, but build your own relationship with your cards and you will be able to read, trust yourself. If you trust yourself, you will be able to read any card almost instantaneously once you build a relationship with it. Let me know if you have questions on this. Maybe Jax and I should do like a test. Like somebody will pull up a card for us and he'll say the classical and I'll say what I get from it. Maybe that'll be fun. I love you. Until next time, let me know if you have any questions. Let's talk about instantaneously reading tarot and oracle cards. Let me know what you think below. I love you. Until next time.